I'm Art Balios, and this is my WPS story. I've been teaching here at East High for 16 years, teaching different level of physics. Something is in free fall. How about the rate of acceleration? I'm proud that I ended up teaching in here because East High provided me with a very rich environment to grow professionally. This is the best school in Kansas, the biggest, the oldest, and the most diverse school in Kansas. And I'm really proud about it. So your Y would be your XF, which is your final position. I came from the Philippines. I grew up in a small fishing village where most of the people were below poverty line. That's where I learned the value of hard work. The only way that I could improve my living or my family living is to finish my education. I was planning to be an engineer. And then along the process, I fell in love with pure physics, so I ended up with BS Ed major in physics. 2006, the school district had difficulty finding highly qualified teachers to fill in math and special ed positions. Ed Raymond, who was the assistant superintendent at the time, got connected with a retired HR director from San Francisco School District who's been running this program, hiring foreign nationals to teacher in America. So he went to the Philippines to hire math and special ed teachers. I had a friend who convinced me to apply. After passing the screening test, for some reason I ended up the next day ready for interview and found out that my interview was actually the next day. So I ended up bargaining and asking, pleading the lady to put me on a waiting list because I'm not traveling back to my province for another 12 hours and come back the next day. And I don't have money to stay in a hotel. And around 3 o'clock, I saw this big crowd coming out of the holding room. And so out of curiosity, I asked the lady in charge, where is this group going? And she said, going up to the interview room for Wichita. So I said, where is Wichita? And she said, in Kansas. So I said, can you put me in this group? And she said, no, because he is here for SPED and math and you're physics. And I just said, well, just put me in. So I ended up going up with this group. And it was Ed Raymond. And he was flabbergasted when he saw somebody still waiting in a line, and he asked me, what's your name? And I introduced myself, and he said, well, you're not in my list. And I said, but are you willing to interview me? And he said, of course. He was laughing out loud because I said, I came here, I flew 17 plus hours in the plane just to interview teachers, so come in. He ended up calling USD 259 that day to find out if he can bring one physics teacher. It was very difficult for us to come up with money to pay all the expenses. It would either make us or break us financially. And the last hurdle is to pass the visa interview. So I was there praying hard and asking God to, give me a sign. And there were like 13 windows. And I specifically prayed to be interviewed on window 7 because for me, it's God's perfect number. And then suddenly I heard my name say, Mr. Balios, please proceed to window 13. And then as I approached the window, something interesting happened. I introduced myself and she said, so what are you going to do in the US? And I said, well, teach physics. And she said immediately, oh, physics. I have no idea about physics. I need to transfer you to other console. And then after a few minutes, I've heard the announcement saying, Mr. Balios, please proceed to window 7. I had goosebumps. And he was just so casual, stamping my paper and say, what are the 3 laws of motion? And congratulations, welcome to America. He handed me my visa. So that was the biggest confirmation for me that we are distant here in Wichita. Me and my wife, we were classmates, and right after college, we got married, and right away we had 3 kids, and so it was tough. It was the years that we were just starting our family. So when I moved here 2006, I left my family in there, and that was the most difficult or the hardest year of my life But at the end, the bottom line of everything that made us, pull the trigger or made the decision was about what's the best for my family. This is the land of opportunity. A couple of years ago, me and my wife and my children who were born in the Philippines became U.S. citizen. And every time I think about of home, this is it. All of my kids went through USC 259 school, Me and my wife are WPS proud teachers. She finished her master's degree in special ed and now teaching at Curtis Middle School. After a few years, I finished my master's at Emporia State. I became National Board Certified for Physics. I'm currently finishing my doctorate degree and proud to be part of the first cohort in the district, the Leadership Pipeline cohort, and hoping that someday I could continue to work in USD 259 and serve as one of our leaders in the building. So that's the meaningful equation that I was hoping you guys could develop. If I wasn't stubborn or determined to be interviewed that day, I wouldn't end up teaching here in America. We are so thankful and grateful about what the district had done for us. Destiny is not a matter of a chance. It's a choice. And success is just for people who are bold-minded and are not afraid to get out of their comfort zone and take the risk. And that's what we did as a family.